All right, hello everyone. I hope you are all well. Namaste and welcome to this webinar on balancing the seven chakras. My name is Joanna Ransdell. I'm from UM-Dearborn's Counseling and Psychological Services program. And today we're going to be talking about mindfulness and spirituality. We're also going to be talking about bringing balance to different areas of your life and different areas of your wellness. So I hope that this meeting finds you well. I hope that you're feeling safe, and I hope that you're having a good day. So I'm going to launch our presentation to get started. Here we go. All right, here we go. So today we are going to be talking about, and hopefully y'all can hear me. Ooh. No, we're doing it live, y'all. So today we're going to be talking about finding balance with the seven chakras. Some of you may be coming to this meeting with some background in mindfulness or Eastern spirituality and know a little bit about what the chakras are. Some of you may be coming to this without much of that experience or knowledge. So I wanted to make this webinar cater to people from all different levels of knowledge on this subject, people who are experienced meditators, people who maybe have never meditated before. So I think no matter what your knowledge base is going into this, I hope that you find these exercises and this information beneficial to you. So let's, without further ado, get into it. Again, my name is Joanna. I work for CAPS at UM-Dearborn, and I'm a licensed social worker. So I'm really happy to be here with you today. So the purpose of this webinar today, first we're going to start by talking about what the seven chakras are and what they represent, and kind of provide a little bit of a background of the history of them. We're also going to be talking about mindfulness, meditation, and spirituality, and how these things provide benefits to our physical selves, our mental selves, and our emotional well-being. We're going to kind of talk about the intersection of mindfulness and spirituality and what that really means without promoting any sort of particular faith system or misappropriating Indian or East Asian culture. I think it's really important to say that this information is being kind of provided as one way of practicing mindfulness and one way of thinking about wellness in a holistic manner. It's not meant to promote any sort of belief system or religion or kind of take someone else's experience and make it my own. It's really just providing another option to make yourself feel more balanced and feel well in these trying times. So I hope you find benefits from it. So before we really get started with presenting this information, I did want to say a few words about cultural appropriation. So cultural appropriation refers to taking the aspects or practices of a different culture and kind of proclaiming them as one's own. So before we get started, I do want to acknowledge that the concept of the chakras does stem from Hinduism and Indian culture. It's also practiced in Buddhism and kind of widely throughout Asian culture. I'm not a member of Hindu or Buddhist religions, nor am I Asian myself. So I am presenting this information outside of that cultural lens. So I wanted to really just acknowledge that this is not my own lived experience or culture that I'm talking about. I in no way claim to be an expert on Hinduism or even the seven chakras. So I radically kind of accept that, you know, maybe I won't get it 100% correct. And I definitely welcome and bow to any differences in opinions or alternate perspectives. I also open any kind of feedback that people have on this, because I do, you know, I'm coming from the place of somebody who studies mindfulness as a therapist and has used chakra balancing in my own life for my own benefit. So I'm really not coming at this as an expert, really just sharing what I've found to be helpful about using this idea of the chakras in a way that helps bring balance. But I did want to make sure to really just acknowledge my own, that this is outside of my culture. And I think the way that I see it is, if you're presenting on information outside of your culture, it's important to acknowledge that and really pay respect to the cultures and religious traditions that this stems from. And in no way do I mean any disrespect or any ownership over these things. So I just really wanted to make that clear before we start. With that being said, what are the 7 chakras, right? So we're going to talk a little bit more about the chakras and what they mean. I wanted to start with this image because I am a visual person. So for any visual people out there, you can see these different colored symbols and how they correspond to different areas in the body. The 7 chakras are considered energy points, invisible energy points within the body, and they go down from your tailbone all the way up to the top of your head. And each chakra represents a different area of wellness. My cat is making an appearance in the video. So each chakra represents different things and different areas of your needs. So we're kind of going to go into what are chakras generally, how do we bring balance to them, why is it important that they're balanced, what does that even mean? And then we'll kind of talk about each specific chakra. For this presentation, I am going to be asking you to do some reflection on your own life and your own experience. So I am going to ask you, if you have it available, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, because I'm going to have you do some writing, hopefully on your own as we go through this. So what is a chakra? I took this information from an article from the Chopra Center. The quote reads, "There are 7 main chakras starting from the base of the spine through to the crown of the head. These invisible wheels of energy keep us vibrant and healthy." The Sanskrit word chakra literally translates to wheel or disc. In yoga, meditation, and Ayurveda, this term refers to wheels of energy which align the spine, starting from the base of the spine through the crown of the head. All right, so if you're kind of maybe a skeptic or maybe not a super spiritual person and you're like, what does that even mean? How do we have invisible wheels of energy spinning through our body? I'm going to encourage you to maintain an open mind. You don't have to literally believe that there's a red ball of energy at your tailbone or a green ball of energy in your heart. You can also just kind of look at this as an opportunity to practice visualization. Visualization is a great mindfulness exercise that has scientifically shown benefits. And what is the harm in thinking about balance in your own life? How can we all think about balance at a time that our daily routines have been disrupted and we're facing all this uncertainty, right? So I think this is a beneficial conversation, whether you're a spiritual person or not. So I just wanted to say that. So when we're talking about chakra balancing, what does that mean? So each chakra represents a different area of wellness, sort of. We talk about how there's many dimensions to wellness. There's physical wellness, right? There's social wellness, there's creative wellness, there's spiritual wellness, intellectual, emotional wellness. All sorts of different domains of our life have different needs. And sometimes we might be out of balance, right? Some of us might be really good at maintaining our intellectual wellness, for example, and you're killing it at school, you're getting really good grades, but then maybe you're not sleeping, maybe you're not eating a nutritious or well-balanced diet. And maybe you also haven't seen your friends in a really long time and you're feeling really lonely and isolated, right? So even though your intellectual needs are being met, maybe your physical and social needs aren't being met, right? Or on the other hand, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're a super social person and you spend all of your time that you have connecting with your friends or being social, and then kind of neglecting other areas of needs like intellectual wellness or occupational wellness with school, right? So the chakras are really just representations of different areas of our life that require our attention. And sometimes they're not in balance. So even just that visualization of these different energy points and what they represent can help us think to ourselves and be mindful. What areas of my life could I benefit from attending to a bit more? There are many different methodologies that we can use to balance your chakras. Meditation is really common. There are a lot of chakra-focused meditations that you can find on YouTube or other apps that involve that process of thinking about the chakras. And we're going to do kind of a meditation at the end of this to practice a brief version of chakra balancing. Reiki is a practice that uses the chakras. Reiki is a kind of energy healing. If you're interested in that, I definitely recommend look into it. Yoga practice a lot of times will include information on the chakras. So if you're a yogi, you probably are at least familiar with what chakras are. You've talked about them in some of your practice. Visualization is huge, right? This is a very visualization focused process to think about these different energy points and their colors and their wheels, right? So it does require visualization to think about balancing your chakras. You can also balance your chakras with paying attention to nutrition. There are different nutritional elements associated with each chakra. And I think that's also a good thing for us to think about. How are we taking care of our bodies, and how can we maybe heal the body with proper nutrition? Thinking about music, so there's also musical notes and keys that correspond to each chakras and chants that you can do for each chakra. So if you're a more audio person or a musical person, like myself, I definitely love the musical element. You can also use the chants, and you can also use music to balance your chakras. So with that being said, I welcome any questions if anybody has any about what the chakras are, or if you're like, hey, I still am confused with that, I welcome any questions. Feel free to type them into the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next slide if we don't have questions, and we'll get into each specific chakra. So your first chakra is your root chakra. This is a chakra that lives at the base of your spine, so kind of the lowest point of the body in terms of like torso to head. So they start with base of spine to head. The root chakra represents kind of our physical wellness. It's like the most focused on the physical world and our relationship to security, our relationship to the earth, our relationship to our bodies, right? So it's really starting at that most basic level of need. I would say if your root chakra is out of balance, probably all of your chakras are going to be out of balance, because we really can't focus on any other areas of wellness if we're not tuned into our sense of security, our sense of physical wellness, right? Our sense of relationship to the physical world. So as we go through, we're also going to be talking about each chakra's like mantra. So a mantra is just a repeated phrase, or a phrase that represents that, that symbol. So the root chakra's mantra is I am. The color associated with the root chakra is red. So when we think about our root chakra, we can visualize a four-petaled spinning wheel that's the color red that lives at the base of our spine. And you can even visualize that now if you want, kind of thinking about a red kind of ball of energy at the base of your spine, and thinking about bringing some attention or even breathing into that chakra. It's a really good way to bring some balance to it. Every chakra also has a musical key associated with it. So the key of C is associated with the root chakra. So if you wanted to balance your root chakra, you could also get really creative and either play a song in the key of C, or find a playlist with songs that are all in the key of C, your musical nerd and you know keys. The chant that goes with the root chakra is Lam, If you want to get real creative, you can chant that on the note C. And the foods that correspond to the root chakra that you can use to balance this part of your kind of physical needs: root vegetables, beets, tomatoes, red apples, pomegranates, berries. Anything red is and belonging to the root chakra. So, as I mentioned before, I asked you all to get a pen and paper. So my question to you, to kind of think about yourself and your own physical needs. My question to you is to write down one thing you can do today for your physical health or your sense of safety. So what's one thing you can do today to kind of nourish yourself on a physical and bodily plane? Maybe it's, I'm going to make myself a really nutritious dinner tonight. Maybe it's, I'm going to go take a walk around the block and move my body. Maybe it's, I'm going to meditate tonight and help myself feel more grounded. Whatever that means to you, what's one thing you can do for your own physical health and safety? Next, we have the Sacral Chakra. So the Sacral Chakra is located about an inch below the navel. And this chakra's mantra is I feel, represented by the color orange. And the Sacral Chakra responds to or represents creativity, the sense of novelty, and kind of emotions, emotional wellness, right? So now we're moving into the more creative realm, asking yourself, what kind of drives me to kind of have that spark in life? What really motivates me? Where do I feel my most creative? Right? We all have this need for novelty and adventure and emotional stimulation. And that's really where the Sacral Chakra lives. The musical key associated with the Sacral Chakra is the key of D, and the chant is VAM. So you can find songs in the key of D or play a scale in the key of D and chant with that. Foods, you're going to see a theme here, right? Orange foods, carrots, oranges, peaches, apricots, sweet potatoes, orange peppers, and mangoes are all good examples of Sacral Chakra foods. And my thought starter for you to write down for your Sacral Chakra is, what's one thing you can do to feel creative today? What's one thing that you can create? It can be anything, right? What's one way you can feel creative today? What's a creative way to manage a problem in your life that's been bothering you? What's a creative project you could do? Could you do some art? Could you make music? Could you try a new recipe and make some delicious food? Maybe some orange foods in there. What is something you could do for some adventure, a sense of novelty? Just pick like one thing that you can do for yourself today for your Sacral Chakra. Okay. So next we have our solar plexus chakra. This is located right at the base of the rib cage. So if you can see, it's going to be right here. And this is our center of kind of personal power, right? So your sense of confidence, self-assuredness, and that part of you that's really driven, motivated, good at achieving goals, right? We all have that kind of inner drive, inner sense of self-confidence. And sometimes that sense of self-confidence is really high, sometimes it's really low, right? If it's super, super high, that can be a problem too. So maybe balancing it means bringing it down, grounding it a bit, or maybe your confidence is kind of shot right now and think about expanding. So the color associated with the solar plexus is yellow. The mantra is I do. It's all about action, this chakra. The musical key is E, and the chant that is associated with the solar plexus is Ram. Foods, again with a theme, yellow foods, pineapples, bananas, lemons, corn, yellow curry, whole grains, all examples of solar plexus chakra foods. So my question for your reflection for this chakra is, one thing that you know you're good at, or one strength that you have. Just writing down one quality that you know that you have, a good quality, something positive or strengths-based you can say about yourself. Are you a really good listener? Are you a good athlete? Are you really smart? Are you really funny? Are you a good cook? Are you a good friend? Are you really kind? What's one quality that you can name that you like about yourself? Sometimes this can be hard for people, but I think we can all, if we really think about just one thing either somebody else has told us or we know to be true about ourselves that is a positive quality. So really thinking about that and writing something down is my little challenge to you. Next, we have the heart chakra, and that's pretty obvious. It's located in the center of our chest near our hearts. And this represents, love for self and others. The mantra, of course, is I love. It also represents kindness and our need for relationships, right? We all have we're social creatures, humans, right? We are meant to have relationships and to connect with other people. So thinking about your social wellness, I think, is really in line with your heart chakra. This is a tough one right now. I think this is a chakra that we could all really tune into right now. Do I feel connected? Do I feel like I have had the opportunity to communicate and to connect with people who are important in my life? Do I feel like I have the support that I need? Do I feel like I have the ability to express gratitude for the people who've made a positive impact in my life? Am I satisfied with the relationships in my life? Do I feel safe in the relationships I have in my life? If you're somebody who struggles with relationships and you are struggling to name somebody you feel safe with, then my heart really goes out to you. And I would encourage you, as much as you can, send that love back to yourself, right? Heart chakra is also about self-love. It's about self-compassion. Sometimes even a heart chakra focused practice is just simply placing your hand on your heart and kind of bringing that sense of touch to yourself and really feeling your hand on your chest, feeling your heartbeat. You can even listen to your heartbeat in your own body, see if you can tune into that, right? And that can be a very comforting and self-compassionate action that we all have access to in some way, right? So anyway, the color associated with the heart chakra is green. So I think about, like nature, right? Green fields and trees, nature, that color is green, right? And who doesn't feel connected in that sense of love and that sense of just blossoming when you're out in nature? So if you have the opportunity to go outside, go for a walk, go somewhere pretty, obviously with social distance in mind, this might be a good way to practice expanding your heart chakra. The musical key associated with the heart chakra is F. So songs in the key of F or an F scale would be in line with the heart chakra. And the chant is Yam. The foods that go with heart chakra, again, we're going to go with green foods, leafy greens, celery, cucumbers, zucchini, green apples, broccoli, kiwi, avocado. Maybe make yourself a nice green salad if you're feeling like you need a little extra love or extra heart chakra action. So my question for reflection for you to write down is one person that you love and one way to show them your love. Who's one person you can name that you do have love for or feel grateful for? And what's a way that you can show them how important they are to you? Maybe just giving them a call tonight, maybe writing them a letter of gratitude or an email. Maybe just sending them positive energy even could be your way of showing them love, kind of sending positive vibes energetically. But my challenge to you is to do that tonight, to reach out to somebody you love and to tell them how important they are to you. Next, we have our throat chakra, which is pretty obvious, right? Our throats are where our voices live. So this chakra represents communication and self-expression. The mantra is I speak, right? Or I make myself known, I talk, right? So this is all about communication. Sometimes it's not about speaking. I think communication a lot of times is very nonverbal, but do you feel heard? Do you feel like you have a voice that you can use? Are you confident in using your voice, right? That's the question that's asked with the throat chakra. So maybe you're a person who feels like I'm really good at advocating for myself. I'm good for speaking up for myself. My throat chakra is really strong. Maybe your throat chakra is a little too strong and you kind of struggle to remain quiet and listen. So you might, balancing for you also, balancing doesn't always mean expansion. It can also mean dialing back. So sometimes if we're big talkers, we might need to contract in. But if you struggle to speak up for yourself, thinking about breathing into your throat chakra and thinking of expanding your ability to communicate in your own way. The color associated with the chakra is blue. Obviously, location is the throat. Musical key associated with the throat chakra is G. Singing a song in the key of G would be a really good way to practice throat chakra work. And the chant is hum, not ham. It looks like ham, but it's hum. That Midwestern accent just came out really bad. Foods, blue foods, right? Blueberries, blackberries, tea. Well, tea and honey are really good, obviously, because they're really good for your throat. Coconut water, lemon. Obviously, with coronavirus going around, some people might be experiencing respiratory symptoms. So I encourage you, drink a lot of hot water, whether you're sick or not, drink some tea, some honey, really nourish that throat, right? Keep that in mind, even just from a physical perspective. My question for reflection on your throat chakra. One way I can express myself today. What is one way you can use your voice, maybe for something you believe in, or something you really want to say to somebody or feel like you need to say? Is there a way you can challenge yourself to express yourself in a positive way today, or just in a way that needs to be said? What's something you can express today? Next, we have our third eye chakra. Some people may have heard the phrase, seeing with your third eye, and that phrase is really about intuition, right? We sometimes have this like sixth sense about a situation or a person, this inner sense of knowledge, right? So the idea of using your third eye to gain insight into something. I think this is important for our country right now, or not our country, our whole world, right? What's our intuition telling us about what we need to do from a broader perspective for the world? What's our purpose right now? What are we here to do? What's something good that we can do for our world? The answer to that might simply be stay at home, right? Follow that order to not spread any sort of germs, not be in any unnecessary contact with people, and to really slow the spread of this virus. That's one way to even be really tuned into your third eye. So it's really about wisdom, purpose, insight, intuition. Color is indigo, and the location's here in the middle of your forehead. Music that corresponds to your third eye is in the key of A, and the chant that goes with your third eye chakra is Om. That's probably the most common chant people hear or people know is Om. That's kind of like that, typical meditation chant. But the chant Om really responds to your third eye. I just learned that recently. I thought that was interesting. So foods, mostly purple foods like eggplant, purple grapes, cabbage, purple carrots, chocolate also responds to the third eye. So good excuse to have some chocolate tonight or make some hot cocoa. Your question for reflection for your third eye. One thing I know to be true. One thing I know to be true. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. There's a lot of question marks in life, in our reality. But what's one thing you know to be true? Maybe it's simply, I know that I'm alive today. I know that I am feeling well today. I know that I'm loved. I know that I have good relationships. One thing I know is that, we're all connected, maybe is what you know today. Whatever it is that comes to mind, one thing I know to be true. And our top chakra is the crown chakra. This is the chakra that lives at the top of your head and is kind of the most spiritual of the chakras. So if you think about the chakras, we go from the most physical to the most kind of abstract or spiritual. So your crown chakras represents connection, truth, and spiritual wellness. I think when we talk about spirituality, a lot of people view that in a very religious context. And of course, spirituality can be religious, but I think it also can just refer to the sense of being connected to every other living thing on this planet, right? And what else could show us that more than a global pandemic to show that we're all connected, to show that the most vulnerable among us and the suffering that they have to go through absolutely affects all of us, right? We are all really a part of a large ecosystem. So even that knowing, even that sense of like being in nature and feeling part of this big ecosystem, that to me is spirituality, and that's related to your crown chakra. So if you're a spiritual person, nourishing your crown chakra can involve prayer, can involve maybe just calling on your spiritual guides or a higher power or even a higher self, as some people like to say. It can also really just be thinking about how everything you do and the way you move through the world has an impact on this world. So what can you do to really be good to this environment, be good to this world, contribute positively to others and the world? I think these are all questions that correspond with the crown chakra. The color associated with the crown is violet, located at the top of the head, or you can even visualize it right above your head. Musical key is B, and the chant is Ah. Foods don't really correspond to the crown chakra since it's a spiritual wellness thing. So it benefits more from fresh air, sunlight, and even intermittent fasting, which of course you should only do if you're physically well enough and you don't have an underlying condition that makes that dangerous for you. So I definitely don't want to promote that, but that is one thing, one practice that's associated with the crown chakra as well. So my question for you for reflection to write down for your crown chakra is one way that you can feel more connected today, right? Maybe it's through prayer, maybe it's through an act of service or an act of kindness, maybe it's through some sort of spiritual practice, maybe it's just going outside for a bit today. But one way you can feel more connected today, whatever that means to you. If anyone would like to share any of their kind of challenges they're giving to themselves today or any of the answers to any of our questions, feel free to type those in the Q&A and I would love to see them. If not, that's okay too. All right, so now that we've taken that time for reflection, I wanted to invite you all to do a really brief practice of chakra balancing in a chakra focused meditation. So today I'm just going to kind of be talking through a meditation practice that hopefully will allow you to kind of use this process of visualization to bring some sense of balance and harmony to your body, mind, and spirit. So if you're in a place that is quiet, great. If you need to get into a place that's hopefully quiet and you won't be disturbed, if possible, I would recommend that you do that. And we are going to get started. So starting by either sitting in a chair or lying down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. If you're sitting in a chair, I invite you to sit with a tall back, but not a stick straight back, maybe with shoulders relaxed, with feet on the floor so that you're feeling nice and grounded in the present moment. You can place your hands with palms facing up if you feel like you need something from the universe or from the environment today. Or if you want to just feel more grounded in the present moment, you can do palms face down on your knees. So placing your hands down, I now invite you to close your eyes if that feels safe for you. You can keep your eyes open if that's how you feel most at ease. But with eyes open or closed, start to tune into the breath. And just notice where your breath is in your body without trying to change it. And then see if you can feel the expansion of your belly and the contraction of your belly as you breathe in and out. So maybe even placing a hand on the bottom of your abdomen, feeling the breath come in and the breath come out. Maybe seeing if it feels good to invite a deeper breath into your practice. So breathing in through the nose, nice and deep, full inhale. And fully exhaling through the mouth. Once again, a deep inhale through the nose. And sigh it out through the mouth. One last time in through the nose. Deepest breath you could take, and hold and release. Big sigh out through the mouth. Now starting to tune in to your tailbone and visualizing at the base of your spine a ball of red light, a spinning wheel of red light that's located at the base of your spine. Now visualizing this ball of red light, say to yourself out loud or in your mind, I am. Maybe breathing in with the word I and exhaling with the word am. And as you breathe, picture yourself breathing into this chakra. Picture it expanding and filling with more intense, bright red light with each inhale. And with each exhale, letting go of any negative energy, any blockages to your physical health, to your sense of safety. Taking that invitation to feel grounded in this present moment. And then moving up to the space just below your navel, even placing a hand on the lower abdomen, picturing now your sacral chakra. Picturing an orange wheel of light slowly spinning in this area. And breathing in and out with the words, I feel. I feel. And breathing in, visualizing this wheel spinning a bit faster. And the orange light growing brighter and expanding with each inhale. Strengthening this chakra, and with each exhale, letting go any blockages to creativity, any blockages to your emotional wellness, and inviting a sense of friendship with your emotions here in your sacral chakra. I feel. And then your next inhale, we move up to the base of your rib cage, placing a hand or two there if it feels good. And picturing a yellow wheel of light spinning slowly at the base of your rib cage, representing your personal power, will, and sense of confidence. Say to yourself in your mind, I do. Breathing into the chakra and seeing that yellow wheel expand and spin more rapidly and fill with bright yellow light. Feeling it expand and grow more powerful with each inhale. And on each exhale, exhaling out any self-doubt, any questioning of yourself, any sense of not being enough or not having what you need. Just let it go with each exhale and let this chakra expand. And now moving up to the center of your chest with your heart, imagining a green wheel of light in your heart chakra, a green spinning wheel of light, spinning slowly. And thinking to yourself the mantra, I love. Thinking of that sense of self-love and love for others, love for your community, love for your people. Letting that love come through. And breathing into this heart space. Maybe placing a hand on the heart. And I invite you as you breathe in to see this heart chakra spin a bit faster and fill with bright, bold green light that extends outward from your chest. Shining bright, filling you with that sense of love. And on each exhale, exhaling any bitterness, any judgment towards yourself or others, any sense of not being lovable or others not being lovable, bringing in that sense of wishing well to yourself and others, bringing in a sense of kindness and compassion for yourself and others. And inhaling, moving your attention now to your throat and visualizing a slow spinning wheel of blue light that lives in your throat. Placing a hand on your throat if that feels okay. And noticing the vibration, noticing the presence of your voice. Think to yourself, I speak. And then inhaling into your throat chakra, seeing that blue light grow and expand, and the wheel spin faster. Breathing in energy to your throat chakra, bringing in that confidence and self-expression, watching it expand with each inhale, and then letting go of any sense of being held back or unheard with each exhale, just letting it go. And then moving up to your third eye, you can place a hand at the forehead and try to sense the presence of your third eye. A two-pedaled wheel spinning in the middle of your forehead, an indigo light. Thinking of your third eye, saying yourself the mantra, I see. And seeing what you can see with this sense of intuition, with this sense of insight and wisdom. And breathing in, seeing the third eye bathed in indigo light, expanding and spinning faster, bringing that sense of knowledge, awareness, intuition, strengthening your relationship with what you know to be true. And then each exhale, exhaling out any doubt, any sense of illusion or disillusionment. Exhale, let it go. Saying to yourself, I see. I see what I need to see. I see what I know to be true. And finally, inhaling and putting your awareness either at the top of your head or right above your head, picturing 1,000-petaled flower as a wheel spinning in violet light. And this wheel, this crown, represents your connection to all there is in the universe, all life everywhere, any higher self or higher power that you may or may not believe in. And breathing in, really seeing this crown chakra expand and bathed in violet light, and sending a cord up through the top of your head. It goes all the way up, higher and higher till you can't see, all the way into the sky. Your crown is your connection to all there is. Really breathing in and saying the words, I understand. Maybe even, I am not alone. I am connected. And bathing yourself in this violet light that connects you. Now taking a moment to just sit and be aware of your body right now. How does your body feel? What's it like to be in tune with your body and connected? Noticing any feelings or thoughts that come up without judgment. However you feel, whatever is happening inside of you is okay. You are okay. And saying to yourself, I am okay. I am here. I am alive. I am present. And just being here. And knowing that these chakras all live within you and are available to you whenever you need to call upon them, whenever they need your attention, they're there for you. Now bringing yourself back to physical awareness of your body, introducing small movements into the body, moving your fingers and toes, circling your ankles and wrists, feeling the weight of your body in the chair or the bed that you're laying on or the couch. Maybe it feels good raising arms up to the sky, big stretch overhead, and then putting hands in prayer position, moving them down and then in front of the heart, opening your eyes. Thank you all for being a part of this afternoon with me. I wish you all so much safety, so much self-love, so much balance. And please, please take care of yourself. Thank you all so much. Namaste.